what we can do with technology has changed. The way we work in technology has changed a lot as well. What it takes really to be here is a person who can be agile, resilient, can work with changes. And I think we as a woman have that as an inherent quality as well.
As a women leader, has gender ever impacted your role?
There is an inherent bias which shows up in different places when you are working, and with the more longer you work, rough choices that I can either do this or I can either do that, or don't even try to do everything by yourself as well, right? Try to take help as much as possible.
Hello and welcome to CIO News. My name is Simran Shivalkar. I am a journalist at CIO News and your host for today. We are back with another episode of Wonder Women in Tech. This session is being recorded and it will be available on all our platforms, that is, our YouTube channel CIO News, our website cionews.co.in, and our LinkedIn handle as well. Moving ahead, I am very excited to invite our guest for today, Ms. Soumya Mishra. She is a digital and tech head at Halion, which is based in Singapore. As a senior business technology executive, Soumya has a solid experience of more than 17 years in disruptive strategic and tactical planning across various functions such as F&B, CH, CPG. It gives me immense pleasure to have her here with us today. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Welcome, Soumya, and I'd really thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Simran. Very excited to be here as well.
All right, to begin with, I would like to understand a bit about you. You have a solid experience in the tech space of more than 17 years now. How has your journey been? If you could just tell us more about it.
Well, it has been very exciting journey. It has been full of challenges, surprises, good things and bad things. But to sum it up, I think the whole journey has been a series of learning and managing stakeholders, solving a lot of problem, and learning leadership in various ways. So it has really been good, and I always wanted to work in technology because I love computers and computer science as a student. So I'm glad that I got an opportunity to work and build a career in that same space.
Great. And being in the tech space and a woman in the leadership position, how do you feel, and what does your typical day look like?
Okay. Well, I'll start with what it feels like. I think it feels great. So, technology is a space, or this industry is a space which changes very rapidly. I'm sure you would agree with that. Throughout my career, I have seen technology changing a lot. What we can do with technology has changed. The way we work in technology has changed a lot as well. What it takes really to be here is a person who can be agile, resilient, can work with changes. And I think we as a woman have that as an inherent quality as well. So it has been a journey which is challenging, but also something that you can use your superpowers in, and can build a career. Every day starts for me. In terms of theme is facing problems, handling challenges, managing stakeholders, and taking tough decisions as well. So I generally start my day at 6:30 in the morning, and my first task or a problem to solve is to make my kids go to school, get them ready, and motivate them. So around 7:30 they go, and then my actual day starts. I get ready for work. I go to office 2 or 3 times a week. Rest of the days I work from home. So whatever case, I get ready by 9 o'clock. I'm at my desk, and in my mailbox, a lot of problems are waiting to be solved. There's a lot of meeting where decisions are waiting to be made, and then of course the whole day is managing stakeholders. I end about 5 to 6 in the evening. Then I either go to gym or go for a walk and have some me time, then come back, we have some family time, we have dinner, and then kids go to the bed, and then I watch a little TV with my husband, or we if we have plans to go out, we go out, and then we call it a day.
Lovely. It looks like, you have a disciplined routine, and I'm sure most of us, all of us rather, we can take some inspiration from that. So, again, Soumya, as you mentioned that you were into computer science from your early years. So, has this always been the plan, or, was there anything else that you wish to do?
Okay. So I think my first love in terms of study was maths. I really liked maths. I liked it because you don't have to memorize a lot. You just need to understand the concepts, and then you have to apply logic. So I found that easier than other subjects because you have to memorize a lot.
Right.
And when I got introduced to computer as a subject, and I think it was as early as when I was in sixth standard, I found it similar. I found that you just have to know a few rules, and then you apply logic, and you can write programs, and it gives you ability to create something as an output as well, unlike math. So I love that. And I what I was sure of, that I want to study computer, I want to study maths rather than what I will be. And that led to kind of a logical choice of doing engineering in IT, information technology, and then led to the jobs in the tech industry. So started with my career with IBM, which is a logical choice with a background of IT and management studies that I did. And from there, I think one thing led to another, and then I made a career out of it.
All right. And Soumya, also you have a wide experience with different organizations. And, as a women leader, has gender ever impacted your role? Has it ever led you to a situation where, you had to take a back seat, or any experience that you would like to share with us today?
Um, well, I'll start by saying that I have been lucky to work in some of the organization and with some of the colleagues and amazing bosses that I have had, that have always taken diversity and inclusion as their agenda. They have always tried to have taken initiative to make workplace better for women. But having said that, there is an inherent bias which shows up in different places when you are working, and with the more longer you work, the more things that you face. I wouldn't say it has impacted me in a big way, or has impacted my career in a big way, but I have heard things like, when I'm working late, oh, you're working late, which is kind of says that, oh, being a woman, how come you're working late? Or I've had questions like, you're traveling a lot for work, how do you manage? And I really doubt anybody asks a man who's traveling for business these questions, right? So that's where
True.
inherent biases come in. I remember one incident when I was in a meeting and there was some problem being discussed, and I gave a solution, which is a good solution, and somebody remarked, oh, you're very intelligent for a woman. So I think they meant as a compliment, but that's
Yeah.
that's really not, right? So those kind of things happen. But yeah, happy to say that me, or I think women mostly of my generation, we have it better than when it was previously. So it's good to see that it is improvising. However, there are a few things which are still there.
Right, because now we observe there's slowly this gradual shift that we can see. Women are coming forward. They're speaking up. They're standing up for what they think is rightfully theirs.
Yes.
So that situation, there's a change, of course. And when you say about working late hours, or traveling a lot for work, how do you also manage to find that balance? Work-life balance, what we call.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's all about how you plan your life in a better way, and you make decision of what is really required to be done, where you can add more value, right? So we play multiple roles, and these different roles need us in different capacities. So how do you choose that? Yes, today is the day that I play this role most, and this role may be a little lesser, because you cannot do everything at a full capacity all the time. So if you plan a little better, if you take help from people around you, then you can definitely manage it. It's not always easy, but it's a problem to be solved, and if you look for solution really hard, you can find those solution as well. So that's the way I try to look at it and try to manage it. Yes, there have been times when I have to say that okay, this is difficult for me, so I will not be able to do it, but I will still turn around the work, taking somebody's help. So you have to, make those decisions and solve those solution. But yeah, it's not super difficult to manage all these things.
Yeah, I understand, and I'm certain we all can agree because a lot of times we just assume that help wouldn't be around, and we just refuse to ask for help at times. And I'm sure that is something that needs to be worked upon. And also, when you say a problem to be solved, any particular set of challenges or any misconceptions that you would like to address here today, when it comes to women in the tech space or women in the leadership position, anything in particular?
Not as a common challenge specific to tech industry, or maybe just a social stereotype, because people do believe that men are better at technology and science and maths than women. However, I think nowadays that conception would have changed a lot. So that plays out. But other than that, I think the challenges of women in tech industry are similar to any other industry. They have life situation which takes precedence sometimes, so they are not able to grow further. There are these inherent biases that I talked about, and in a lot of place environment also does not support women's growth or make it easy for them to work. So all those things are there, and they are there in the tech industry as well, which makes it difficult for women. So when I said I have been lucky to work in some of the good organization, I cannot say that all organization provides a similar level of ease for women to work. So that is still there.
Absolutely, I agree. And globally, or even in developing countries now, I think there has been a gradual shift. Things are working out, and we can certainly hope for the best. So, on the similar lines, I have another question. Is there anything that you wish you knew earlier, or any lesson you learned earlier in your career?
Yes. So maybe I think I had known all of this earlier, but if I were to give any advice, it would be that all of us try to be successful, and we try to be superwomen in order to be successful. My advice, contrary to what you would see people portraying really successful women, is do not be a superwoman. Do not try to be one. Do not try to make very rough choices that I can either do this or I can either do that, or don't even try to do everything by yourself as well, right? Try to take help as much as possible. Take help from your spouses, from your in-laws, from your parents, from your friends, from your colleagues, wherever you could, right? So there could be situations like you have to attend a function in school for kids, and you also have to attend a meeting at the same time, right? So look at it as a problem rather than a choice. Try to maybe delegate this meeting to one of the colleagues who could represent you, or in other ways, try to send your spouse or in-laws or parents to the kids function while you attend the meeting. So there could be ways to solve it. Do not overwhelm yourself that I have to do everything alone, and it's only on me, I do not have any support system. Create that support system for you, and then only you will be able to manage and make impact in both the areas of your life.
That's really a nice perspective. I mean, a lot of times, be it tech or any other space, we just assume that, especially being a woman, we just assume that taking the hard way is the right way or it's the ideal way. And I don't think it should be that way. But you've put it very well. The point you've just made, I cannot agree anymore. On those lines, also, do you have, any message for our younger audience today, for girls who want to make their mark in this space? Do you wish to tell them anything?
I think join a space in general for women which really interests you, where which you're passionate about and you think you can make an impact. And then the advice is make it happen through whatever means you need. Don't overwhelm yourself by thoughts that, oh, would I be able to do it or not? And if I were to do it, will people support me or not? No, just know that yourself you can do it, and make people support you rather than just expecting that somebody will come to support you. And do not again overwhelm yourself with thoughts like, what if I were to fail, or what if I were not to do it? That is okay. If you were not able to do it, you're meant to do something else. Your talents lies elsewhere, so you have to find that out. And it's a journey. It's not that you are perfect at everything all the time. That's what is expected out of women. Don't be perfect. Make your mistakes, learn from them, and then gradually keep on improving and moving up and upwards.
Absolutely. And I think, at times we do see things as a constant battlefield, we look at things that way rather than just accepting them. And at times it's also necessary to go with the flow and, trust the process. And like you said, make things work for you, ask for help, look for support. And I am sure this conversation has been really great. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm sure our listeners and viewers can definitely take some inspiration for you. So I really thank you once again, Soumya. Thank you so much for joining us today and having this conversation.
Yeah, same here. Thank you for having me.
And I really hope to see you around. Bye bye.